everybody. Welcome aboard the Aussie Express. Next stop, Auburn. Let's go.
What? That's so cool. Mind the gaps. This is the best job ever. Now, just before we get started on today's episode, kids, let me just remind you about our merch items available on our website, like our mini Aussie hat made just for kids' heads. One of my favourites, Aussie socks, with a nice little message reminding you to always stay keen. You can get yourself a sweatband, just like Aussie's, but even cooler, with Aussie's logo. Or a mini replica Aussie tee made just for you kids. Or brand new to our website is our personalised video message made just for you from Aussie. Right now available on our website, aussieforkids.com.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, it's Aussie here. I'm a little bit excited because today we're going to explore one of my favourite things, trains. We are right here at Sydney Trains in Auburn Stabling Yard. Now I said stable, yes, it's like a place where horses sleep, but it's where the trains come to sleep at night. But I think the best place to start is inside the train. Let's go and see if we can find a driver. Come on kids, it's going to be fun. All right kids, we are at the very front of the train and this is the driver's door. But hey, some of you keen little Aussie fans out there may have picked up something a little bit different about Aussie today. That's right, I'm wearing full-length jeans, I've got my special steel cap boots on, and my normal green Aussie hat's been replaced with this one. And that is because right here in the stabling yard, it's safety first. As always kids, of course, I've got my big high vis. So all these things, these changes are because we're going to be safe. Now let's go inside and see who's in there. G'day, I'm Aussie.
Hi Aussie, I'm Johnny.
Nice to meet you, Johnny. Do you mind if I come in?
Come in.
So Johnny, you're a train driver.
Correct.
What a job. So you're going to help explain to me and the kids out there what your job involves and what you get up to every day driving a train.
That is correct, Aussie.
All right, so when you start your shift, at the start of your day of work, what do? You get to sit in this chair and drive the train, right? But before you do that, you got to do something?
I've got to do a lot of tests to make sure the train is safe.
Okay.
To take all the passengers out and about all over Sydney.
Okay. All right, so maybe you can just show me what you do before you start driving the train.
Sure. First thing we do when we're preparing the train is we have our driver's prepare flag.
Oh, wow.
So this is to warn people that I'm on the train, and I clip it on here. That's to tell people that I'm in charge of the train and I'm preparing it, that there's a crew member on, and D for driver.
Okay, so that says crew on the front of it.
Crew on the front and D for driver.
Yeah, cool. Doesn't that get in your way when you're driving?
It's only for preparing only. Just
Right.
before we leave, I'll take the flag off, put it in my bag, and we're ready to go.
Amazing. So you're communicating with all the people out there in the stable yard that you're on here and you're preparing.
That is correct. So that means no one can jump on the train can't move, no maintenance people can work on the train, no cleaners, nothing.
All right, amazing. Now, I've never been up here in, would you call this a driver's compartment?
That is correct.
It's amazing. Well, I've never been in a driver's compartment. There's lots of buttons and some levers and stuff.
Yep.
Can you explain to me what they do?
Of course I can. Okay. So, we have a driver's key.
Oh,
this is like
that's a key?
That's a driver's key. Also called a butterfly key.
Butterfly key. Wow, that's really cool. And where does that go?
And this is like a key in the car. It goes in here. And once it just energizes the train, so the train's woken up, just like in a mobile phone when you turn it on. And then,
Or when you start a car,
exactly right,
engine's starting, or everything's getting ready to start.
correct. This is called the operator-enable, the driver's master's control of the handle. So this actually makes the train go and stop.
Right, so now it's in the brake position.
That is correct. I'm on maximum brake.
Okay.
So that means the train will not move. We have the park brake on, as you can see here. The park brake's on.
Two brakes, double the safety.
That is correct.
But what about these? What does all this do?
Yes, okay, so here we have the train whistle, what we call it, or a horn, but we call it the whistle. We have the bell. That's communications between myself and the guard.
Right.
Also, if the handset or communication between the driver and guard fails, which means it doesn't work, we have bell signals we can communicate with.
Amazing. These trains are pretty big. How long would it take to stop one of these trains?
Yes, these trains are very big and heavy, so they do take a while to stop. It'll take approximately 7 football fields at about 100 kilometers to stop.
That's a long way. That's amazing. Okay, and what kind of speed are you going when you're driving one of these trains?
Well, we have posted speed boards on the actual track, similar to speed signs on the road. The highest we can do, where we're allowed to, is 115 kilometers.
Oh, that's pretty fast. Okay,
So-
and that's why it takes 7 football fields to stop.
And
Because this thing is heavy, right?
it's very, very heavy.
And how heavy would it be?
It's equivalent to 80 elephants.
80 elephants. So when we're riding on Sydney trains, we're like riding on 80 elephants.
So you can
That's how heavy we
imagine
are.
80 elephants trying to
Wow.
stop at 100 kilometers.
Amazing. And how, is it 80 elephants long as well?
No, it's 12 buses long.
12 buses long.
So it's
12 buses long, 7 football fields, 80 elephants.
that's how much.
That's a whole lot of train.
Yeah.
All right, awesome stuff inside the cabin here,
Yep.
or the driver's compartment, as I've found out it's been
correct.
called. Where to next, Johnny?
Okay, we can step outside and see the outside of the train.
All right, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Johnny, so we're at the front of the train here.
That's correct.
What do we got here?
We've got here. So if you can see up the top there, we've got the 2 white marker lights.
Okay.
They can change to white for front and red for when we're travelling from behind.
These lights,
That's your headlights,
Headlights.
and your high beams.
high beams,
That's your visibility lights. Now those lights must stay on all the time, day and night.
all the time.
All the time.
Okay, so whenever you see a train, they will always be on. These ones are just used for night time.
Night time or head, yep.
Yep.
They're not used, these ones are used, these are 24 hours must be on during the
Wow.
day and night.
Okay,
These only if you have low visibility and you need more light.
right.
This
What is this thing?
This is a coupler.
Coupler.
So, a coupler they call it. So in the event this train cannot move, they might call another train to come on and join and like tow it out
Right.
to get it repaired. So this is what the other, see, all the other trains will have the same look. That just comes in and it'll bump on and it'll all lock in
Connect
together. And they'll connect
And
together.
then the train at the front can help its mate out.
That's
and tow
correct.
it to safety
And
or
get-
to a place like the stabling yard to get fixed.
That is correct.
Sydney trains.
Now we're going to check the side of the train. So what we do is we've got to make sure there's no cracks on the window.
Okay, so we're checking windows.
Windows,
No cracks.
no cracks. Checking the passenger doors, no cracks.
Yep.
If you kneel down here, you can see the wheels and the brakes. There's the,
So that big silver thing is the brake.
the big disc brakes. That's correct. That's what
Wow.
stops the train.
Wow.
Each wheel has one. So
Each wheel has
that's
one.
how much we need to stop this train.
Wow.
And then when we get in between the train, we have to make sure all the cables are connected, that there's nothing loose.
Okay.
So all these cables carry important information for the train carriages to talk to each other.
Right. So this is one carriage, and this is another carriage, and this is that join, and you can walk between them, can't
That's
you, inside?
correct. That's correct.
And then you've got all the cables underneath that connect those two carriages.
That's correct. So that's
Wow.
got all your lighting, communications, announcements, everything is done through these little cables.
Very clever, isn't it?
Yeah. Here, this is an emergency door release. So if
Okay.
there's an emergency, you can pull it and it'll open the
those
doors to let people out in case there's
Another safety feature.
That's exactly right.
Oh, how good. Now we've been walking for a little while. We're not even halfway down the train, are we?
Not
So
yet.
how many carriages are on this train?
This Waratah has 8 carriages.
Okay. So you said Waratah. Is that the name of the train or
this
the
is the
type
name.
of train?
This is the name of the train
Okay.
that's been allocated to this train.
Okay.
Other trains have different names. We
Right.
have Tangara, we have Millennium, we have Oscar, and we have Waratah.
Wow. Any Aussies?
Maybe the next one.
Maybe the next one, the Aussie Express.
What do you think?
Oh,
Yes.
I think it sounds good to me.
Also, while checking down the bottom, Aussie, we have to check up the top as well.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm sure walking, you can see those funny looking antenna things up the top
Yeah,
there.
what is all that happening up there?
That is a pantograph.
A pantograph.
Pantograph, it's a big
Okay.
word. It's
And
a
what
very
does
big
it
word.
do?
What it does is that provides power from the 1500 volts overhead wiring,
Wow.
and that provides all the power which gets converted into all the lighting, for the lighting, the braking, the air. We can have one of them not working and the train can still run. There's
Okay.
4 on each train.
Right.
If one goes down, we can still run the train on 3.
Right. That's very clever, isn't it?
Very clever.
Okay, so these run all around Sydney,
That's correct.
and the trains are always touching them, and that's how they get their power.
That's correct.
So how many people can you fit on a train like this?
Approximately 2,000 people can sit in this train.
2,000.
Yeah, that's more than an airplane.
That's a lot. How many carriages are there? This
8.
is so long.
There's 8.
So
There's
8 carriages, 2,000 people,
2,000 people.
heaps of elephants.
Too many elephants. If we had
7
2,000
football fields
people
to
and
stop.
elephants, wow. Yes, 7. Yes, 7.
Oh, we don't put the elephants on the train. It's just for people.
That's
Right.
yeah, that's good.
I
Yeah.
just had to clear that up.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's a passenger train.
It's a passenger train. That's correct.
Okay. Johnny, I think I'm going to go up here and meet a train guard. Is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure
You're
to meet
welcome.
you today.
You're welcome.
And
You're
hopefully we haven't taken up too much of your time, and you can still make sure you get the train to the platform on time, because we know that people out there, when they're travelling on trains, they want to be on time, don't they?
That's correct. Thanks for having me, Ozzie.
Big job. I'll tell you what, it's a fun job, though.
That's a very, very fun job. Kids, if you want to become a train driver, do so.
Ah, awesome. How good's that? All right, I'm going to go and meet a train guard. Come up here. We're going to go inside the train now, and we're going to meet a train guard.
Hi Ozzie,
Hello, I'm Ozzie. Nice to meet you.
I'm Mia, your train guard.
So
Welcome
you're
aboard.
a train guard. All right, do you mind if I come on?
Please, please.
All right, so you are sitting in, hang on, this looks really similar
It's very familiar.
to the driver's compartment that I saw at the other end of the train with Johnny.
Exactly the same.
Exactly the
because
same.
in opposite directions, but this is the driver's seat.
Right,
This is the guard seat.
so this is the guard seat.
Yep.
So this is where you get to spend your days?
This is
when
where the
you're
magic
working?
happens, yes.
Magic. So can you talk me through some of the magic that you do at your job?
Well, my job basically entails keeping everybody safe. You know, when you're getting on a train, when you're getting off a train, when you're on the train, when you're on the platform, when the train's coming in and out of a station.
Right.
And I work everything from, well, I don't sit down, I've got my screens, and I get on and off the train when we arrive at a station to check that everyone's safe
Right.
and work these controls.
Okay.
This is where I rest
That's where you
between
rest,
stations.
Which is probably not very often, right?
Not too often in the Sydney network, no.
Yeah, wow.
We've got our screens. So again, I don't know how closely you can get to having a look at that, but I can see every carriage.
Okay, so you've got actual cameras
Footage.
in there.
Yep, and they're everywhere.
Okay, so you can sit there and say, I can see that person has got their feet on the seat.
Exactly. And
And
I
they're
can
not
do a
doing the
close
right
up.
thing.
Absolutely. Or if they're not being safe, if
Right.
they're running around,
Yeah.
I can go, okay, I need to make my announcement
Okay.
and keep everyone
And so how do
safe.
you politely tell them to do the right thing?
Well, I just remind people, you know.
Like you walk up to them, or do you?
Well, if they're really close to me, I can walk up to them.
Right.
But usually, again, the train's so long,
Yeah.
I have to make an announcement.
Okay, so you can.
So I will, tell them on the phone. I can use my... Good morning, customers. This is your train guard. Can I remind everybody that it is not very polite to put your feet on the seats? Thank you.
Wow.
So it's just a phone call away and I can tell anyone anything they need to know.
Amazing. And is it just the one train guard on each train?
Yes, we have one driver, one guard, but we're a team,
Yeah.
so we work together
Okay.
and it's good fun.
Okay, and do you ever sit, so you sit up here when the train's heading that direction? So you're at the back of the train?
Yeah,
Or do you sit
So
next to...
some trains we can be in the middle.
Yeah.
Depends on the train type. Some of the guards are in the middle.
Right.
On these new trains that we have all these screens on, we're always at the back.
Okay,
Yeah.
very, very cool.
But I can show you a bit of what we look for if you like.
Oh,
But-
absolutely.
Yep.
I'd love to take the
Okay.
kids for a journey through the middle of the train.
I'm just looking for cleanliness of the train. I don't want any windows broken, any seats broken.
Yeah.
If anyone's been naughty with graffiti, you know, that's something we have to report, so that can be cleaned.
Yeah.
Check that all the screens are working, because
Okay.
again, that's how we can show people where the train's going to stop.
And there's the camera.
And there's there's a hidden camera. Yeah, there's one of them.
That's your
They're
magic
throughout
eye.
the train, indeed.
there.
And again, we just do that throughout the train, so
Okay.
it's a bit repetitive, but that's what we check, just
Of
to make
course,
sure
well,
the
you have
train's
to
ready
check,
for service.
right?
Yep.
Now, one thing I'm noticing here, we've got some blue seats and we've got a couple of little red ones.
Yes.
What are
so-
the differences there?
Well, these ones, if we have anyone, say for example, someone that's a bit older or maybe has a walking frame,
Right.
we'd like to keep those free for people that need to sit down. So
Okay.
if you're really young and you've got lots and lots of energy, maybe you can stand up for the older people in the crowd,
Yeah.
or maybe someone's injured. You
Yeah.
know, they might need those seats. We've also got our wheelchair seats, which that'll be over this side.
Okay. Right, well
So
there's the
these
wheelchair
ones
symbol.
can actually, these actually pop up.
Oh wow, that's
So,
clever.
Yeah. But then we get help from our station staff, and they will
Right.
help put the wheelchairs on, or our wheelchair customers
Okay.
on and off.
So is it the station staff that wheel the ramp out?
Yeah, but we
Okay.
also do it because late at night there's not always station staff
Right.
working. So it's a team again. If
Yeah.
I've got my wheelchair ramp in my car as well.
Right.
So if I need to help, obviously I will. If
Yeah.
there's a station staff, it's a team. We all do.
team effort.
Yeah, we work together to get
Awesome,
that done.
very,
Yeah.
very cool. Mia, the cool thing about these chairs, and Johnny was pointing it out outside, is that if the train's heading that way, you can sit facing this direction.
That's right. That's
What
right.
if the train is heading the other way and I don't want to travel backwards?
Well, guess
do?
what? Grab the yellow handle, and now you can sit facing this way.
Amazing. And if I'm traveling with a few of my other friends,
That's right. You can
we
all
can
sit
all
together.
sit together and have a nice chat.
And yeah, make it a really
nice
comfortable ride. That's
Social
right.
trip into wherever you're going.
And most of our trains, you've got that option, so it's really good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for showing me around, Mia.
You're
Which way
very
do I
welcome.
need to go?
Well, because we're in the yard, we don't open all the main doors.
Right.
Unless we're checking the train. So come back into my office, and you can exit through this door.
Stepping into Mia's office. What a cool office. I've seen some pretty cool offices. This has to be right up there with one of the coolest offices I've seen.
Yeah, the view's always different.
Absolutely.
It's an exciting job. It's good fun.
I love it. Well, Mia, thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
You enjoy
Ozzie.
the rest
Lovely
of
to
your
meet
day. And as I always say, stay keen.
Stay safe when you're riding the train.
Stay safe.
Thank
very,
you.
very good message. See you, Mia.
See you, Ozzie.
All right, kids, we've been given special permission to be able to drive this train. So we're just going to drive a little way up and then come back, and I get to stay in the driver's compartment. Make sure that I'm not distracting Johnny as he's driving the train there. How cool is this?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome aboard the Aussie Express. Next stop, Auburn. Let's go.
What? That's so cool.
Yeah, you have a train after you. You have a train route named after you.
Amazing.
Okay. All aboard the Aussie Express.
Oh, this is the best job ever. So you can use the control with your left hand over there.
Yep.
Or you've got the foot.
Yep, I can take my hands off and there's a
Pedal
foot
there.
pedal, yep.
Wow.
Ozzie, can you see that W sign? That means
Yes.
whistle. We're coming to a level crossing.
So I've got to start whistling.
You can press the whistle if you want.
Oh.
Woo! So
How cool is that?
That's warning the cars and trucks and people that there's a train going to cross over the level crossing.
Okay.
And to stop at the flashing red lights.
And did I do it right? Just one
did it-
press?
You did it exactly right. That was perfect.
Perfect. I could be a train driver.
I think you can. So now to stop the train, so now I have to press the park brake on to make sure that the train is secure.
Okay.
It's all telling me red, so that's all good.
Right.
And then I just turn the train off. Ready to
And
go
you
for a
see
walk?
change ends.
Yep.
Is that because we're going to head that direction?
We're going to head back in that direction and drive back the other way.
So we need to jump in the other driver's compartment, the other end of the train. This will become the back.
That's correct.
All right.
Ready to do that? Let's go.
All right, so we're walking on the platform at the moment, and that's why
And where?
you can see that the door level is at sort of the same height.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
And you can see you must stand behind the yellow line.
Please stand behind the yellow line.
That's perfect.
I can get a job as a...
You can be a station assistant
I
as
can be a
well.
station
You can make all the announcements.
Amazing.
A
That would be
driver,
fun.
an announcement, a train
Yeah,
guard.
Train guard. Wow.
Good afternoon, everybody. This service will be ending here. We'd like to thank you all for using Aussie Express today. Please be sure to check for all of your belongings before leaving the train. Have a great day.
Oh, wow. A special announcement just for us on the Aussie Express.
How good was the Aussie Express?
Best train I've ever been on. G'day kids, so we have been to Auburn Stabling Yard, we've checked out some trains there. Now we've come along to Auburn Station where we're going to see the actual trains in operation. We're going to go and meet a CSA, a customer service attendant. But first, we're going to go through and tap our Opal card so we can get up to platform number 4. Platform 4, so we're looking for the customer service attendant.
Hi.
Customer service attendant.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, I'm Ozzie.
I'm Sumanpreet.
Nice to meet you, Suman.
Same here, good to see
So
you.
I've been told to come and talk to you about your job and what you do here at Sydney Trains. So you are, it's called a CSA, is that right?
That's correct.
And
Yeah.
what does that stand
That
for?
stands for Customer Service Attendant.
Yep.
And we provide assistance to the customers regarding travel information.
Okay.
Yeah, and any boarding assistance they require.
Right.
Helping school kids with the routes and correct platforms.
Okay, excellent. So if I'm a little lost, if I'm coming looking for platform number 4 or
Yep.
3, or if I want to get to the centre of Sydney, I come and ask you those things and you can tell me where to go and where to stand.
Yes,
and- yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, speaking of where to stand, I noticed you've got some blue and some yellow here. Where do you stand, and what are some of the safety things we need to watch out for when we're travelling on trains?
Good question. For your own safety and safety of customers around you, I would recommend to stand behind the yellow line.
Okay.
Yes.
And it even says it there, doesn't it? Stand behind the yellow line.
That's
a
correct.
Nice little reminder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also notice another piece of writing over there. It says mind the gap.
Yep.
Now, is that because there's a gap between this, which is called the platform, and the train that comes in?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes there is a bigger gap between the edge of the platform
Right.
and the train.
Right.
So it's always safe to mind the gap, mind your footsteps when you get into the train,
Yeah.
for your safety and safety of customers around you.
Well, you don't want to slip down that gap, do you?
Absolutely.
We met a driver before and we met a train guard.
Okay.
So with that flag, that white flag, you can tell the train guard that everything is clear and safe, and then they can tell the driver to start driving.
Absolutely.
So it's this nice little team that makes the trains work.
All teamwork.
Amazing. And what else do you do as part of your job?
We actually make announcements.
Okay.
So regarding safety
Right.
of customers on the platform, any alterations, delays, cancellations due to some reasons.
Okay.
So we make announcements and we provide boarding and alighting assistance
Right.
with the ramp to the customers with special needs. Yeah,
Good. So everyone works together to make everyone's travelling experience really easy.
absolutely.
Mate, now speaking of easy and safety, you've said safety a few times now.
Yes.
If you're a little child, we've got a lot of little kids out there watching, usually travelling with an adult, is it advisable to stand here and hold the adult's hand, not rush towards the train? What other advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would recommend and advise the school kids especially
Yeah.
when it's busy during the peak time. Do not run on the platforms. Yeah.
Of course.
Do not ride scooters, bikes or skateboards
Yeah.
on the platform for their safety.
Yeah.
Do not hold the closing doors, please. And do not jump into the train because your life is more important than a train. So you can miss a train.
Yeah.
We've got frequent trains running every 2 to 3 minutes. So
Yeah.
I would really recommend to catch the next train
So
instead of getting
if you're a few minutes late,
Yes.
it's better to be a few minutes late and safe rather than trying to run towards the train and slipping and causing an accident, maybe even causing some harm to yourself or other people around you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so safety first. I can't wait for a train to come and see you and your team do your thing with the flags. There you go. That was absolutely amazing. So you blew the whistle when you were ready to go, and then you held that white flag up
Yes, me too.
until the train left.
Yes, until the train departs, and then we have to watch the train fully before even exits the platform,
Right.
basically for the safety.
And then
yeah.
that part of your job is done until someone needs you, someone asks you a question, or until the next train arrives.
Yes, that's right.
Amazing. Tell you what, you have a really, really cool job. Do you ever get to ride on the trains, or do you spend most of your time in the one station?
I work at different locations actually.
Okay.
So I get to see and interact with people of diverse cultures.
Amazing.
School kids, elderly people. Yeah, and I love that. I love my job.
What a great job. And your office changes all the time. You're
Yes.
at different locations.
It does,
Really cool.
yes.
Well, thank you so much for telling us all about your job and how important it is.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank
and
you.
see you again soon.
See you right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Mind the gap. This is the best job ever. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Aussie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of